Hello and welcome to the Cryptocurrency News Channel. We have kind of an emergency update with the situation with the war with China and Russia. Now, US intelligence has actually said that the talks between US and China have not really provided anything, and that China has actually agreed to supply Russia with both money and military supplies. Now, they're not sending troops over, but they've agreed to send money and military supplies in the form of like food rations for soldiers, which I actually think is fine, but also maybe with some Chinese drones, which are probably not too efficient, but it is military equipment and also like helping with military logistics. Now, this could be very, very bad for all markets. Now, let me tell you how China's power structure works. There's like Xi Jinping, and then there's like these 7 people called the Political Bureau, and they basically determine everything. The intelligence also says there's a lot of dissension in the lower ranks of Chinese government, but the dissension in the lower ranks is kind of irrelevant because these 7 guys basically and Xi Jinping basically decide on everything. And this is pretty much all passed through. Now, China has an interest in trying to basically take down the West's power. But unfortunately, I don't know if they figured into the calculus. If they actually go to economic war with the EU and the US, they will be the most screwed because China essentially depends on the West to buy their exports. And if the West does not buy their exports, their economy is completely screwed. Now, if you actually look at the Chinese stock market, you can tell that they're getting ready to be completely screwed because the Shanghai index went down by a whole 5% yesterday. And the Hang Seng index actually went down by almost 6% yesterday. Shanghai is obviously in Shanghai, Hang Seng is in Hong Kong. While the Japanese stock market actually rose by 38 points. So it wasn't an overall down day for the markets. It's just really, really bad for China. Now, that's not all because of the war. A lot of that is because of the new COVID uprising and the new COVID strain that's like rampaging through China right now because the vaccine doesn't really work as well as the United States' vaccine. And plus because China takes it a lot more seriously than the United States actually does. So they basically shut down everything when there's any strain of the vaccine out and about, which obviously is not the best way to manage the economy, but whatever. I'm not really going to comment on that way too much. But our intelligence reports have actually indicated that China has signaled that they are willing to give Russia aid. Now, this is either because Vladimir Putin must have a lot of dick pics of Xi Jinping or something, or Xi Jinping is just like really dumb, or it actually could be both. Because if he were smart, he could actually see that the devastation that will be wrought to China's economy if they actually help Russia is going to be greater than if any like big thing actually gets revealed. I think the world pretty much already knows that China gave Russia the okay to actually go attack Ukraine, and that they will actually back and they would actually like not sanction Russia. But now, since they're giving military aid, it brings it to a whole new level of worldwide attention. And if we go into another economic Cold War with China, which is the world's second biggest economy, it's going to hurt all parties involved, but it's going to hurt China more than anything else, and it will reverse their progress for the last 30 years. Remember, China doesn't invent too many things themselves. They're really good at copying things that other people invent. That's why they buy all their military equipment basically from Russia, because they don't really have anything better themselves. They're basically just a production powerhouse right now in terms of manual labor and stuff, because it's cheap to actually get labor there and they have the infrastructure. But, as soon as they do this, like if the West sanctions them, all that like technology expertise actually goes away and no one buys their products. Russia's not going to have any money to buy their products, and the rest of the world outside the West doesn't have enough money either. Japan, is going to sanction China as soon as like all the other Western powers sanction China. So they're putting their whole economy at risk. That's why there's a lot of dissension in the lower ranks. But this could quickly turn into Cold War III between Russia and China versus the rest of the West, and that's going to hammer our economy and cryptocurrencies a lot. You might think like crypto will actually make it out safe. No. If the rest of the market dips like that, cryptos are going to dip as hard as well. So you might want to save your money and actually try to buy some cryptos once they dip really hard. The Chinese yuan may not dip as hard as the Russian ruble because China kind of has complete control over their yuan, although they can't prevent its dip in the international markets if they actually get sanctioned. So this war could actually become Cold War very, very soon. And if they actually get desperate, it could actually become hot. So this signal that China has given Russia that they're willing to give Russia military aid is another escalation step. Now, it hasn't been confirmed yet, but I wouldn't disregard our military intelligence because they've been right on things so far. I mean, they told us that Russia was going to invade like a month before they were going to invade, when the rest of us didn't think they were going to invade, and they were actually right. So I definitely wouldn't put it past them to know that China has actually agreed to supply Russia with both financial and military aid. And if that happens, the world economy is going in the crapper for a while. And the crypto will definitely have a flash crash. So you might actually get that sub $30,000 buy. I think for crypto, it only lasts for a little while. So you have to have your money ready. But you could actually get really cheap coins. If this actually happens. Because if the war escalates, if we sanction China, things are going to go really, really south really, really fast. So that's the news for today. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe. Hit that bell notifications button. Thank you and have a nice day.